Warship. The main vessel used to transfer military might onto the seas is a warship. Warships defend commerce shipping from enemy attack, prevent the adversary from using the sea to transfer military forces, and attack the enemy's merchant shipping. They also secure the transportation of military forces over water to coastal locations where they may be landed and utilized against enemy forces. Naval vessels are also employed in blockades, which aim to stop an adversary from bringing in the supplies they'll need to wage war by water. Naval ships have always been built to be quicker, more durable, and equipped with offensive armaments than commerce ships in order to achieve these goals. The term craft now refers to small surface boats that often operate in coastal waters. From their inception to the present, this page charts the evolution of the main surface warships and boats. See submarine for further information on submerged vehicles like submarines. Other pages go into more detail on the armaments that warships utilize. See military technology for information on early naval cannons, rocket and missile systems for information on guided anti-ship and anti-aircraft missiles, and military aircraft for information on naval planes, jets, and helicopters. The age of ore and ram. Conversions of the dugouts, inflated bladders, papyrus rafts, or hide boats used for regular transportation were the first vessels designed specifically to make war. It's likely that the conversion initially just involved a raiding group concentrating their weapons. Time conversions gave the craft itself additional offensive and defensive capabilities. Warships built for combat evolved into both marauders and defenses against marauders as ships got more seaworthy and plentiful. It's possible that the earliest ships made specifically for combat sailed in the fleets of Crete and Egypt 5,000 years ago. The evolving role of warships in the 21st century Navy. A new revolution in warship design is about to begin. Unmanned, lean-crewed, and multi-role vessels are being considered by navies as potential additions to their fleets. James Black, Director of Research for RAND Europe, examines the modern definition of a warship. A revived interest in maritime power projection on a global scale, with warships at its center, may be shown by looking at the majestic Royal Navy Carrier Strike Group, led by the aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth. The UK has a long history of emphasizing naval power and expeditionary power projection due to its island status. It is a nation that also controls a number of overseas territories and is strongly dependent on global trade and unrestricted shipping. However, a recent change in the danger landscape stemming from Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 forced NATO partners that had previously concentrated on counterinsurgency and counterterrorism operations to return their focus to near-abroad territorial defense concerns. The People's Liberation Army Navy is growing in size and sophistication, and there is growing awareness of a rising China that has made significant investments in naval capabilities. While in the past the response would have been determined by numbers and tonnage, James Black, the research leader for RAND Europe, claims that the focus is starting to shift. There is still a political focus on numbers, especially in the US, but people are thinking more about systems and consequences today, including ships or autonomous vessels, whether they are little or huge, on the ocean, in the air, or underwater, adds Black. Black continues by saying that automating a sizable percentage of the activities that is currently dependent on personnel will significantly lower the cost of naval operations and boost efficiency, perhaps permitting a larger force. System of systems / Black forecasts that over the following 10 to 20 years, navies will continue to consider ships increasingly as components of a system of systems and focus less on whether to design a single warship or submarine and more on the capabilities they must provide and how they interact with other domains. Black said that the U.S. Marine Corps is starting to think more and more about how they cannot just fight from the sea onto the land, as has traditionally been their duty when they've relied on amphibious operations from massive platforms at sea. They are preparing to move between the land and the sea, acting in small, agile groups, deploying on islands, and then launching anti-ship missiles to destroy enemy assets at sea. Combating from land to water, changing that dynamic. By allowing manned ships to collaborate with unmanned surface, subsurface, or air assets, the system of systems approach will further blur the lines between these domains. The design of contemporary frigates, which have mission bays from which to deploy them, reflects this. According to Black, navies can also alter a vessel for various types of operations at potentially pretty short notice. That can be as simple as an ISO standard container, and you can swap those in and out to carry an unmanned vessel, electronic warfare gear, or disaster relief gear. Additionally, containerized assets give navies the ability to quickly reconfigure civilian ships. The capacity to operate in a region of the world where a covert warship would be preferred to a discreet, low observable, potentially deniable vessel offers additional capability. Other aspects that affect modern warship design include deployability, which refers to how long the vessel can operate autonomously and distant from a port, as well as survivability in terms of armor and defensive measures. Black says that some of that has to do with things like how vessels are manned in addition to the warship's design. Is it preferable to leave a ship anywhere in the world and rotate crews through it as opposed to bringing it back to port to recrew? Uncrewed assets present new possibilities for transferring cargo, supplies, crew, and equipment onto and off of ships under that circumstance. This extends the deployment period even more, maximizing at-sea time and reducing time in port. Development of the aircraft carrier. With the invention of the aircraft carrier, naval combat underwent a significant change. The aircraft carrier demonstrated its capability to strike decisively at enemy ships beyond of sight and range of surface ships, first at Taranto and then at Pearl Harbor. The carrier had taken over as the main warship by the end of World War II. Development of the amphibious assault ship. During World War II, the Shinchi Maru was a ship of the Imperial Japanese Army. She was a forerunner of contemporary amphibious assault ships and the first landing craft carrier ship ever built. She was known to have used at least 4 cover names, R1, GL, MT, and Ryujo Maru, during some of her operations. An amphibious assault uses a warship equipped with an amphibious vehicle to land and support Marines and other ground troops on the enemy's soil. 2 categories of specialized shipping, most simply referred to as ships and craft, can be distinguished. Typically, ships transport troops from the port of embarkation to the assault's drop zone, while boats transport troops from the ship to the shore. Shore-to-shore amphibious assaults, in which landing craft travel directly from the port of embarkation to the assault point, are another option for close-range amphibious assaults. Amphibious assault ships have a deck similar to a helicopter carrier for helicopters and V/STOL aircraft, as well as a well deck with landing boats that can load tanks and other armored battle vehicles. World's largest aircraft carrier. The Gerald R. Ford class is the largest aircraft carrier in the world, with a total load displacement of 100,000 tons. The first carrier of this class was commissioned in 2017, and it belongs to the U.S. Navy. The 4 further ones are being built. The most aircraft carriers country. The United States has 11 aircraft carriers and 9 helicarriers, which is the number of all other companies combined. After the US, France and Japan have 4 carriers each. Advanced aircraft carrier in the world. With a displacement of 80,000 tons, China's Fujian is an advanced aircraft carrier in the world. It has catapults, straight flat decks and also arresting devices. Thank you for watching. View more our channel videos.